I'm so excited to just turn this into an organized but super adorable just library. So yeah, can't wait. Hello friends, welcome to today's video. It's a little bit different but still bookish content, and I hope maybe some of you will enjoy this. I am in the room that we are kind of dubbing as the library room in our house. The kids actually, so if you didn't know, I have 3 kids, 8, 6, and 5 years old, and they are super big avid readers as well as me and my husband. And they decided to turn this room, they wanted it to be a library slash kind of play area for them. So my husband actually just moved up some of the shelves we had downstairs in the basement. As you can see, there's all different kinds of shelves around me, and they're not too terrible, but I just want to go through and reorganize this and actually make it kind of more like a school library, just like a library system. So if you're interested in that, even if you maybe don't read kids books, but I thought throughout the process I'll organize, which is nice, but I also point out some of my kids' favorites slash just my favorites as well, and to also give you a little bit of organization, like I guess inspiration. I'm excited. I'm going to be doing, I just ordered some shelf kind of organizers from Amazon, so stay tuned for that as well. But let's get into this video if this is something you like, and let's organize, and yeah, let's go. Since I kind of started moving stuff around, I thought I'd quick do kind of the favorites and share. So these are just some, again, of my favorites, and these would be great for gifts, or if you're a classroom teacher, you know, just anything, or even like if you don't have kids, like I said, like if you have nieces, nephews, friends, kids, whatever, or they're just fun for you to read. Like, I'm never one to pass up a kid's book. Like, they're good. So let me show you some of my favorites, and then I will continue into organizing. So the first ones, which some of these are pretty popular, but they're popular for a reason. My kids, they've been proven to be worthy by my children. So I have like some of the pigeon books here. This is the latest one, the Pigeon Will Ride the Roller Coaster. These are just so fun, especially if you do the pigeon yelling voice. My kids love it when I read to them. They're just really fun books, especially like Don't Let the Pigeon Drive the Bus. They're just really good ones, always a good to go to. They do have a lot of these in Spanish as well, or in English if that's something, you know, like if you need one in Spanish, they do have a lot of those. Most of them I think are offered in Spanish as well. Then a next one, along with series, and also by Mo Willems. He's a really great author from the Pigeon books, as also the Elephant and Piggy books. Again, these are just some of the ones we have, but I thought I'd show you. My kids love these. The Elephant Piggy, again, they're just funny. The illustrations, they enjoy the story. They're silly, and they're just really fun. And my kids always love these. Like I said, these are just a few, but I really recommend these as well if you're able to, like as a gift. I know they sell sometimes the sets or, you know, packs and stuff, or just really recommend to get some of these. If you're looking for maybe more baby books, or like for younger little readers, because reading starts from day 1 and even before. Anyway, don't get me started on how I feel about reading, but this is a great one. Maybe obviously those of you who have kids may know, but Sandra Boynton. This is again only just a couple that we have, and the great thing with Sandra Boynton is that it combines a lot of things like singing and reading together, and singing is often a prerequisite for learning and reading acquisition. If you didn't know, I am an ESL teacher, so I teach reading. That's something I feel very passionate about and just nerdy about, and that's actually something that babies, you know, from when they're first born, that singing is kind of that initial. It helps them to down the road have their reading and acquisition skills. These are really great because a lot of them, they're just fun and cute, but they also come with songs that you can either search, you know, like on YouTube, or even sometimes, I don't know if I have one here, but some of the books will have like a little barcode to scan inside to play that song. So it's kind of fun because you can learn it and then sing it to them as a way of reading, and it's just really fun. You can see these are pretty well loved for my kids, and now I read them to my nephew, and they're just a classic. Like, they're a classic for a reason. They're just so good, and again, I just recommend them to everybody. They're just really good stories. The next one, this is also classic, but I just had to mention it. My son is just obsessed with this, and all my kids honestly, but especially my oldest. He's 8, but he's still just this series. I mean, it's classic for a reason. It is the Curious George, and you'll see later in the video, I have an entire collection shelf area just for Curious George. My son, we always kept nicknaming him Curious George because he is so curious and he just wants to be in everything like Curious George. And these, again, are just so great. You can find a lot of these at half-price books for a pretty good price. Online, they're not too bad. There's just so many, so it's really nice because it's a really good like collection. Like if your kid really gets into them, there's a lot for them to choose. Like it's not just a couple. There's so many, and my son will keep rereading them and go back and he'll read them to, you know, his younger siblings. They're just really fun. And of course, it's a Curious George show and there's books based on that. So there's just a lot that you can do with Curious George, and then there's just a lot to offer, so many different, and he's just funny and silly, and I definitely recommend Curious George if you have not checked him out before, even just for yourself, but especially kids that are in your life. Also, speaking of curious kids and my kids, like I said, apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. They are big nerds like me and my husband, and again, especially my oldest, he loves encyclopedias, you guys. It is the cutest thing. He wants like encyclopedias on everything. Like we have cat encyclopedias and like all different kinds. And so I just thought I would share with you because I think kids are curious and that is amazing. And just to fuel that curiosity, like you never know what they'll get into, what they want to discover. The next thing that I really recommend, and I'll try to hold them up if I can, I'll try to maybe do a couple at a time, is these National Geographic Kids, like My First Book or Big Book, like there's different ones. Like this one is First Big Book of Bugs, and so you can see inside. It's nice because it is like an encyclopedia essentially, but it definitely has more visual aids for younger kids, and this is so great even if you don't homeschool or you homeschool. These are great to incorporate, but just in general, like my kids just love reading these and they go back to them time and time again. They're nice and big. They would make a wonderful gift. We have this one. We also have the Big Book of Space. Again, similar concepts. It's just so cool, and the photos are really great. And then the Big Book of Dinosaurs. This is another favorite. And we also have Big Book of Things That Go. This is a wonderful one, especially if you have kids, just anything transportation, wheels, all that. This is a good one. Then also along the vein of like encyclopedias is also atlases. Like my kids are really into atlases and maps and geography and all that stuff. So I'm like, way to go you. But we have a United States Atlas one. Again, with the National Geographic Kids, I really recommend. Just check them out. And then also we have the Beginner's World Atlas, and this one is like really big if you can see. And this one is just so fun because again, there's like facts and information, different continents. There's just so much you can do with it. And again, even if you don't homeschool or if you do homeschool or whatever, like they're just good to incorporate, and I just really love them. So here's this one. But again, there's so many more that are in that series, but anything from that I think I think kids would really enjoy, of all different ages. Along with the idea of encyclopedias, this is one book I wanted to share. I think this is just pretty cool too. It is called Listified, and I'll try to have links for some of these things down below too. This is kind of more general, but I thought I would share that with you. This book is really cool. Like it says, it's 300 lists, and if you are someone who's like a list keeper, or like I really enjoy lists, I think probably this is where my son got it from. But it's really literally just 300 different kinds of lists, and it's just so cool to read. Like me and my husband were even in like reading to, we're like, wait, what? Like I didn't know that. And there's just so many cool things. Like I don't even know, like this one is about aliens and different exoplanets that could possibly exist. There's things about physical fitness. There's things about animals. Like this one right here is ranking, what is it? 10 of the brainiest breeds of dogs, and so they just kind of show you, like it's just fun, quick lists, but it's so many good conversation starters out of it, and just so many fun things you can do. And again, I think especially if you have a kid maybe a little bit older, but like my son is 8 and we got this for him last year for Christmas and he loved it. So this is a good one I recommend you know, to have. It's really fun. And then also with kind of early or chapter books, this is probably maybe not a surprise, but Magic Tree House books. Oh, my kids, all of us, my husband and I, the kids, we all love these. They're just so great because again, there's the initial series and then there's the series after, which we are still working through them. But again, they're so great. And teachers often use them in school, and for good reason, because they're just so fun because you can really focus on a certain topic, like these can be great jumping off points to whatever else they might be curious about. So like if they're really curious about Australia or kangaroos, like it's just so fun, you guys. Like if you have children and you're around children, like seriously, it's so fun to learn through your kids, like, or through children. Like it's just so amazing. Like, or like dinosaurs, again, you could like read this book, read the other book of a dinosaur. Like there's just so much you can do and find resources, but these are just really good stories. They're pretty quick, so we get through them, you know, in a couple days, like before bed if I read to them, or my son will just sit, you know, and read chapter books on his own or to his brother and sister. So they're just pretty good places to start for chapter books. The chapters are not very long, and there are a few images in the chapter book, so it's kind of helpful with visualizing and helping with that skill. But they are still chapter books. And again, I'm pretty sure these are also available in Spanish as well. I know there are some even available like in other languages, in Russian. I know I don't have access to the ones in Russian where I am in the United States, but that would be really cool to get in our collection. So anyway, those are just some of my favorites. Well, let's get into actually organizing, so I do something here. Also, amidst my mess of organizing, I forgot to talk about these, but these are an absolute favorite. These are from Osborne Books, but these really, really cool. They're Shine a Light, and so they have a whole bunch of different books in their series. I'm so excited because we just bought, I think, 2 or 3 more that are coming, but they're really fun because you can include like a little flashlight. I don't know if I can show you. I'll try to maybe insert a B-roll, but when you insert a flashlight on the back side, the things will kind of like shine through on the front. It's just like a really cool concept and kids really love it. I'll insert B-roll, you guys, so I can better show you. But if you have not tried these are wonderful. It's the Shine a Light books from Osborne. So good. I really, really recommend these. If I can, I'll try to link things down below if you want to get a hand on these, but these are fabulous. My kids love these, and even younger kids, like they think it's like magic. It's so cool. So definitely for sure. But here's my process so far. Oh man. All right. Okay, as I'm starting this, I have to tell you guys about this. This book is called Trashy Town. We found this randomly in like a free bin at an ECFE class like 5 years ago, and my kids love this book. Like can't even tell you how many times I've read this. And I don't know, they just love it because there's a lot of repetition. But it's about Mr. Gilly, and he's this trash man, and it just talks about all the different places he goes. And so then they say like, dump it in, smash it down, drive around the trashy town. And then it'll say like, is the truck full yet? And then they'll be like, no. So then he just goes a bunch of different places, like the school, the playground, and then they just always repeat this. And my kids like get into it and sing it. And then, you know, he just keeps going all these different places, and they're like, stop. And then they say it again. And my kids just love this book. Like, it's so fun. And any kid I've ever read this to, they just love this book. And it's just like really fun kind of song chant repetition. And it's just a really good book, and it's a good way to talk about waste and like where things go and like stuff like that. Like we've had really good conversations, interestingly enough, from this book, but they just really love this book. I will try to link it if I can. I don't know. I don't even know. I think this is from like the 90s. Is it 80s? I don't even know. But like I said, I just randomly, when is it from? 1999. So here we go. But if you can find this, it's awesome. Alright, this is now a few days later. Things are finally coming together. We're basically done sorting, and I have my handy dandy assistant. We're using a label maker, and I'm going to show you guys what I got from Amazon to really take things to the next level. I'm so excited. I ordered these. It's a set of 20. They're like shelves, label shelf thingies, and they just come with these little white papers to can put in there, but we decided to take things a little more organized, and we're using a label maker. Are you helping label? Mm-hmm. He was so excited to label. So we're going to do a label and stick it in here into the different categories. Let's see, are you printing it? What did you print?
I printed. Hey, ow.
Okay, all right, you tell me. Do you remember how to cut it? Do you remember which button? Okay, what did you print?
Curious George.
Curious George, awesome, way to go. A, good.
N. And then you click print.
Is it coming out?
Yeah.
Yay, good job.
We are the assistant.
You're the assistant? Yeah, but then you gotta cut it. Let me see. Russia, nice, we gotta put it on a label. Alright, you guys, I think we finished it up pretty well. I'm proud of our progress considering what our book system was before. It's a couple days later. I just want to share with you guys kind of the big reveal, I guess, and kind of go quickly through the shelves to show you what it looked like. So let's get into it. So like I said, my kids just really wanted to have their own library space. They actually chose, they are sharing a room together by themselves, and instead, so all three of them in a room, and then they chose this to be like their library is what they wanted it to be, slash if they wanted to play games in here and stuff like that. So here's what it looks like. You can see there's obviously creative things going on here. The reality with kids, right? I just left it to have their space. When we first walk in, here's the door. This is a bin we like to keep for library books so that they don't get all mingled up with our books. And we usually go to Library Weekly. It's just this thrifted kind of metal bin that works really well. It's heavy duty for storing books and everything library stuff, so that's there. And then going here, you can see there's just a closet with storage stuff, but here is, I guess, what it looks like. I'm thinking of maybe getting some more kind of fun, like maybe book posters or like a world map or something too, I think, over here. So that's not fully finished, but, or maybe even having the map in that corner there. You can guys see this random pink string. This is actually, I'm washing. There's a little canopy, like a princess seating kind of thing. So if they want to sit under it, I think that'll be fun. But, so you can see here's the first shelf, and here's the little, yeah, you can see they were already in here. So they're already reading things and sorting through stuff, which that's all right. But you can see there's the labels here. And so they just go on the shelf. These are the different series ones. Some of them don't have labels, like you can see this is all Disney. These are kind of some of our educational work stuff, like Russian learning materials or handwriting, just like little work stuff, not exactly reading books. Then we have Curious George over here. You can definitely tell this is the favorite section, one of them. Then here, I didn't label these either, but because these were a little bit more separate, but we have Dora and Diego, and these are the Berenstain Bears, which are a big favorite at our house. And then on top of this shelf, I have another thrifted basket. I really like this shape because it fits really well on these square shelves. This is kind of like, what is the current thing? So right now I have winter and Christmas books, which I still have to go get another box out. So those are just kind of more here. And I go through our collection and pick out anything that might be relevant. So we've got maybe Christmas, any other new books too that are related to this, like Gingerbread Man, you know, I Spy Christmas we have in here. Snowy Day, classic, right? So anything right now, our theme is winter and Christmas, so that will be in there. It's just kind of a quick, easy way that we don't have to search through stuff. It's there. And just, yeah, things like that. So it'll kind of be rotating out. Then over here, I just put it on top just because the size is kind of bulky, but also it's easier access for my youngest son to grab, or also like if my nephew comes over, he's younger, so it'll just kind of be easier to grab. Because right there, they're just the sound books, which you can see this was a thrift store find. But there's these here. Then the next shelf, I just displayed some of kind of the bigger books that we have that didn't really fit in the cubes, but we have the big World Atlas, the Timeline of Everything. This is in Russian Encyclopedia of Animals, and so I put that up there. It just has beautiful pictures, all of these do. We also have one of the current favorite shelves, which is Dog Man. And then Magic Treehouse. And this is kind of, I didn't really label this, but right now it's just Captain Underpants and really like more space. As you can see, they're not all jam-packed, and I'm glad for that because it actually allows like more space for growth. And obviously we'll go through and also declutter as we need to, but I like that there's more space for chapter books here. Then down here, this actually is 2 shelves. It's readers. So all different kinds of readers are in here. I did put some of the series readers, like if anything was Berenstain Bears, I did stick it with the Berenstain Bears, but any other kind of readers I put into here so that just easy access for the kids. Then down here, we have Mo Willems, which again, Pigeon and Elephant and Piggy books. And then also this bin is Pete the Cat. So everything Pete the Cat is in here. Oh, I accidentally put this in here. That goes with this. So there's that. Then on right now, this kind of corner, I just put it here for now, but these are just older magazines that I have to go through from when I was a kid. So I'm just gonna go through that and just go, but that's just there hanging out. Then this next shelf, we have kind of displayed some of the fun books that we have. That are, again, kind of bulkier, but they're like fun ones. This is a Star Wars pop-up one. It's just really cool to display too. And then we also have a pop-up Peter Pan. This one is really beautiful as well. This is actually a Costco find. We got it for my daughter for her birthday. And it is so beautiful, like just the details crazy and like to make this book. So it's beautiful. I just have a cute little playroom sign. And then in here, in the next part, we have, this is all the Russian books. So like Russian, like fiction books, not like the Russian learning. So these are all just Russian, a lot of fairy tales, just fun stories. That is all on these next 3 shelves. Then we have some of our Bibles and Bible stories. So that's in the little Bible section per the cute little label. And then we have our very small nonfiction series, because again, we have also nonfiction like in the encyclopedia section. But you guys, I want to share this gem with you. We found this, so my son made this. It's just so cute. You guys, look at this. I put it in the nonfiction because, you know, published author here. So it says Sharks by Andre, and it says sharks can be scary, but they have fins. Optimism. And then some of them can kill you, like the great white. And then it says, the end of the story, and lives in the ocean. Chomp teeth. I just thought that was so wonderful. I was like, this is a gem. Like, me and my husband were like, this is great. So we're gonna put this in the nonfiction section. Here we go, it's gonna live there. And then we have our Spanish section, which this also made me realize, like, I need to get more Spanish books. Clearly I have a lot of Russian books because a lot of these are also from my mom and from my dad. So I need to get some more Spanish ones. But we do check out a lot of Spanish from the library, but it'd be nice to have some of our own too. And then down here, I kind of just put video games for now. But again, this is kind of just like graphic novels, video game stuff that they're into right now. So those are just living down there. Oh, and then here we have encyclopedias, and then I forgot to do this one, but again, this is just Llama Llama, and then this is Maisie series, so those are just kind of living there too. And then over onto this way, I have my Matryoshka dolls, one of them out. I thought this would be perfect here, because I just thought they look so cool. You guys, this was a garage sale find for $8. Like, I freaked out. Like, when I told my mom about this, she's like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, these can be so expensive to get. And this is like handmade. It's beautiful. Like, and there's even another little baby one inside this one. It's so cool. But kids, you know, I didn't want to like lose it. So this is all we took out. Like, it's just so cool. Anyway, for these two shelves, I didn't really do anything too crazy because a lot of these books are just, I organized these by board books and then hardcovers, and then the board books did spill over here, but they just fit better here. So those are there, and then these are paperbacks, and then also paperbacks down here. And again, you can see there's still room for growth, which I appreciate. And I'm still trying to find just maybe some other cute other Matryoshka dolls or just some fun things to display here. I'm excited. But yeah, these are just the books that, you know, they're not a series or whatever, but so they're just still there, but they're in their own little section. And then down here are really kind of like oversized. Most of these are like the Lego Star Wars, or a lot of these like video games like Zelda or My Little Pony, kind of big, oversized. Like we have some Waldo books that they're not really in a category, but they're also just so big, so they just made sense down here on the bottom on this shelf. They fit well. So that is overall how I organize this. And then on the wall here, these were from before. I do want to get frames, but again, I have not gotten to it. But these are actually, I'll try to link these down below if you're interested. They're just a set of little prints that I got on Amazon, so they weren't too expensive, because I kind of try to combine like things for my daughter that she's into and for my son and things like that, because they all use this space. So those are for my daughter, and just cute little star garland and cute little picture of bears. But yeah, so that is everything. I do have to say I'm just very excited, and I wish that my books were this organized. Like, this is like goals for me right now. Like, I need to do this with my books. So also, like, this is so perfect like to read in here, and it's like so snowy already in Minnesota. Look at this, and look at those little chickies hanging out. So I just think it's so perfect just to like come here, hang out, read a good book. So there we have it. Thank you guys so much for sticking through this video if you have, and thank you so much for watching it, and I will see you in the next one. Bye everyone, happy reading!